these contract concerns that need to be addressed this offseason, and so far, they've done a combined total of none of it. Entering the final year of his deal, Dak Prescott has the second highest cap hit in the NFL. He has a no-trade clause. Cowboys cannot franchise tag him. So he's got total control of the organization. Meanwhile, Dallas picking up Micah Parsons' fifth-year option. But they placed the option on him as a defensive end rather than a linebacker, which would pay Parsons $3 million less in 2025. And then we get to C.D. Lamb, set to enter the final year of his rookie deal come September, a fifth-year option that'll pay him nearly $18 million unless a new deal is agreed upon. But the Dallas Morning News is suggesting that might not be so easy either. They had an article in which they wrote, and I quote, "Barring a contract extension that, when complete, is expected to make Lamb the highest paid wide receiver in NFL history, Lamb won't take the field. Lamb is an elite player on the cusp of market resetting compensation. Participating in the spring under a rookie contract team option is not what elite players do." So RG3 and our beloved former Cowboy Marcus Spears here with us this morning. And we've been talking so much about the Cowboys this offseason. And all the while we keep talking, they keep doing absolutely nothing. And we keep saying, well, when they get to
Stop shaking your head, RG3. Stop shaking your head, RG3. I know, bro. I know, man. I know. Before we get going, I already know. Okay? Go ahead, G. I'm sorry.
Marcus, no, I get it. I think you speak for the entire fan base. But I guess my point is we've been saying, well, by the time it starts to really matter, they'll get to this, they'll get to that. Well, here it comes. The Dallas Morning News is telling us the first checkpoint on all this is, does C.D. Lamb show up without a new contract? And the time to find that out is rapidly coming upon us. What do you think here, Marcus?
Well, if I'm C.D. Lamb, I'm not showing up, all right, because this has worked in the past. When you think about what Ezekiel Elliott did, when you think about what Dak Prescott and how that contract situation did, Dak was a little bit different. He was participating in some things. But if you look at CD's situation, now we're here, fifth-year option needs to be exercised. The productivity. Minnesota got the same thing on their hands with Justin Jefferson. So this is not an anomaly when it comes to the league based on how he performed last year. CD has clearly become the number one wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys. The last one to get paid was Dez Bryant to the tune of a $100 million contract. CD understands what this market is, and he also understands now how vitally important he is to what the Dallas Cowboys need to be or should be trying to be. And G, here's the crux of the situation, because this is so good how it correlates. We watched in free agency the Dallas Cowboys sit out there and do absolutely zero. Okay? Mm-hmm. They have a history of paying their own guys who are highly productive. So this wouldn't be out of the ordinary for keeping CD Lamb and paying him money. But the problem is now that you have to do this, and you also have to team build with two offensive linemen walking out the door, with your running back walking out the door. Obviously, Michael Gallup being gone. So your receiver room doesn't even look the same anymore. CD Lamb understands there has been no movement in this offseason. I came off a season where I was one of the most productive wide receivers in the NFL, and we don't look the same as a football team. So that requires me to get a lot of money, because I am the most important part to any tune of success when it comes to offense outside of Dak Prescott.
And maybe even inside. So RG3, and Marcus, you might want to cover your ears for this. Robert, how would you characterize the Cowboys offseason so far?
Yeah, Greeny, the Dallas Cowboys have had the worst offseason in the NFL. The worst. I mean, you heard Marcus talk about it. They lost their starting center. They lost a behemoth left tackle in Tyron Smith. Don't have a starting running back. They lost Armstrong and Hankins and Van Der Esch on the defensive side. So to me, like, what is the goal here with not paying CD Lamb already? You have three players that should be the cornerstone of your franchise, yet there's already reports out there that Dak is going to have to play the last year of his deal. They're not going to commit to him long term. There's reports that they don't like Micah Parsons in certain aspects. Now there's reports that CD Lamb is going to hold out if he doesn't get a new contract, which he should do. But if the goal coming into the offseason for the Cowboys was to fix their culture and focus on winning and make it all about ball, then they're failing absolutely miserably These three guys have helped you win 12 games over the last 3 years. I know Cowboys fans have to be tired of this circus and this continual song of dance of just getting attention but not winning when it matters. I would rather the Cowboys just come out and say, hey, all you guys are going to play on your contracts and we're not going to do this whole thing. But in order for the Cowboys to truly be all in, they can't be all out on their three best players. I'll put it this way to you, Greeny. The Cowboys right now are acting like a toxic partner in a relationship. You address something with them, they say, I got you. We're going to focus on ball. We're going to clean it all up. They clean it up for 2 weeks, and then they get right back to doing the same dang thing. And it does feel like we're just having another situation where the Cowboys are focused on more things than just winning.
Marcus, rather than angry, you look somewhat resigned. I'm trying to, you have the most expressive face in sports television. That's what I'm reading from you here, big fella.
Gee, the hardest part for me, man, is that, and you know this, Michael Greenberg, and you know it's serious when I call you your whole name. Brother, I've been talking about this for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
I've been talking about Dallas really going after trying to win a championship for the last 3 years. Gee, every free agent period that has come up since I started doing NFL football, and we've been talking about Dallas, I've been waiting on them to make the move. Every time, bro, they draft well. Their players that they draft, they do a hell of a job for this football team. That is not going to win a championship. And it feels like RG3 sat on me on Monday night with me on Monday Night Countdown when we were having this discussion. I said it didn't matter who the coach is. It matters about what they do in the offseason. How are you going to marketably improve this football team? And for all of the things that we talked about with Dak Prescott, and we talked about the playoff performance, we talked about this team and how they come short. Gee, you know what usually makes up for that? Yes, coaching is important. Players. The one common denominator that we've seen go to Super Bowls is because of the players, man. Like we give coaches and we know how important it is. But at some point, regardless of what the situation is in the game, it's going to be about the 11 either on offense or defense. And Dallas has lacked in that. And the fact that they've lacked in that in critical situations and they've decided to sit on their hands every free agency period over the last 3 years that I can count, it makes no sense. So resigned, gee, you damn right, resign. I'm not about to fight about this anymore, bro. I'm not about to have this conversation. We watch teams spend $100 million on one guy to get better. Dallas won't even spend 50 on three that may improve three positions on their football team. So y'all, hey man, it's not the season yet. I'm a hold my horses, but gee, you know where I'm at with this, bro. You know where I'm at. You know where I'm at, man. It's like my mama used to tell me every time I got in trouble, boy, I'm tired of your little ASS. You either gonna get right or you gonna get the strap. And every year Dallas been getting the strap. So something need to happen different.
We've lost Marcus. When we've lost, if you're in Dallas, if we've lost Marcus, then I don't know where else we can turn. Okay, we stayed there, but it was well worth doing. Let me take a break, and so I can have plenty of time for the